Okay, so I'm here with Awak Kuier, right? That's the proper way of pronouncing your name.
Yes, Awak Kuier.
Okay, awesome.
I have a little bit more of an accent, but yeah,
Okay,
that was
so
good.
is there a difference between like the Finnish pronunciation and the American pronunciation?
Yeah, I think I don't know if I know how to say it in English because it's so different for me, but in Finnish it's just like we say the letters a bit different, so it's more like
Mhm.
firm. It's like Awak Kuier. But then in
Ah,
America they kind of say Awak Kuier, like with
yeah, they
yeah,
stretch it out a bit.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was
Yeah.
wondering which one was, and which one do you prefer?
Honestly, both. I think I prefer the Finnish way when I'm in Finland, like that's more natural to me. But when I'm
Mhm.
outside, I kind of it's fine to me. It's kind both.
Okay, so I want to start with a question about your hobbies. I've read somewhere that you draw in your free time. Do you, I mean, you used to draw, or do you still draw?
I do draw these days too, but I think a lot less. I think when I was in school, I used to draw way more, and then I think now when I'm more like a play professionally more longer, I think I haven't had as much time to just
Mhm.
draw. I think I've also tried to, go a different path and try other things. But yeah, I used to draw a lot.
Okay, and what did you draw when you had the time?
I think mostly it was like almost everything. Mostly I want to say like animals or like buildings and stuff. I wasn't as good with like people and faces. I think that was the hardest part for me. But yeah, mostly just like views and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, and what about fashion design? Did you draw fashion too?
I think more when I was younger. Like I was really obsessed about fashion when I was younger. And now I think not as obsessed, but it's just something that I always liked. So yeah, I would draw like dresses and like outfits that I would like to wear, but obviously I didn't really have the opportunity to wear. So when I was younger, I used to do that way more.
Okay, because going through your Instagram, you're a very fashionable person. I don't know if that's the proper word to describe it, but you seem to be very into fashion, right? Is that true?
Yeah, 100%. I think since I was young, like I remember stealing my mom's clothes and then cutting them up, and she used to be so mad at me for cutting them and try to like make them into other stuff that I could wear. But yeah, it's something that I've always had and just like always put attention to. So yeah, I feel like fashion is something that I have a lot in my life.
Okay. And where do your, I'm sorry for my dog. She thinks she's a
No, you're fine.
singer. It's like, yeah. No,
That's fine. I'm actually getting a dog this Monday for the first time.
really,
Yeah.
it, okay. And what sort
Yeah.
of breed?
I'm getting a toy poodle. It's gonna be
Okay.
really small. I actually have a cat already, so I'm super excited.
Awesome. Awesome. So you're really growing roots in Venice, right?
Yeah, I am. I think I've always just loved animals so much. Like in my life when I was younger too, we used to have a lot of cats. So I have a cat already, but I think a dog was something that I always wanted. And it was just something that my parents never allowed me to have. So I'm excited to
Okay.
have one.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So coming back to what we were talking about, sorry. Because I mean, I have 8 dogs, 4 cats,
Oh
so
wow.
so we can. I mean, I
Oh,
can.
that's amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome, and they just get along. So that's really cool that
Yeah,
they are able to get along. I
yeah.
hope that your dog will get along with your cat as well.
I hope so
Uh,
too.
and how long had did you have? That's not good English. I'm sorry.
No,
Uh,
you're fine.
okay. How long is the cat with you?
Is this like my fourth? Yeah, this is my fourth season that I've had. So like 4 years. I got my cat my first year overseas actually when I was in Italy. I played in Sicily and I got my cat from there from Sicily.
And the cat travels with you because cats
Yeah,
are very territorial, right? They don't like
yeah,
to travel. So,
yeah. No, my I feel like I got super lucky with my cat because he's fine. Like we travel like 3 times a year because I took him to Finland with me this summer, and then he come back here and everything. So no, he's super good with traveling.
And was he with you in the WNBA as well in Dallas?
He actually wasn't, because I wasn't able to bring him there, but he stayed in Finland with my family.
Okay, and they're cool with that. So
Yeah.
I mean, staying with the grandparents, right? That's like
exactly.
Yeah. And do they overfeed your cat?
Oh my God, yes. My mom so much. Like, she thinks that I don't feed my cat. And then every summer, like after WNBA, I would come back home and my cat would be so big. And I'd be like, Mom, like, no, like, even if he cries for food, doesn't mean that you just have to give it to him.
Yeah, cats are like that, right? They're
Yeah.
always like trying to get food. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. I want to ask about your fashion influences, but also like your heritage, your family, because you're originally from Sudan. So how well was Sudan present in the way you were brought up when your parents lived in Finland? You know what I mean? Like, did they teach you the language, talk about the culture, etc.?
100%. I always like to tell like people that I grew up in Finland, but I grew up also in a South Sudanese household. Like, when it comes to clothing, food.
What does that mean? If you could like explain
everything.
what it means. Yeah.
I mean, it's way different than Finnish culture for sure. And I could always recognize the differences in both of them. But I think we also always grew up to, like, for example, share. I have a big family, and that's always something that I've had to do, is share a lot of things. But to my parents, it was very, very important for them to teach us about our culture, because they know how important it is to us, for us to know where we come from. So when it comes to everything, she would always teach me all the foods, South Sudanese foods to cook. So now I know how to cook them too. And like, we would have like traditional dances. We would have a lot of like traditional African parties with a lot of South Sudanese people. And like, we would gather around every year. And obviously Arabic, they taught us Arabic. That was the language we spoke at home. And then we do have a lot of tribe languages, but I was never able to learn those because they were too hard. And I had to learn Finnish and English too. So it was too many languages. But Arabic, I was able to learn, and I'm very grateful for that. But I think that's mostly the things that I feel like my parents taught me.
Okay. And what are the Sudanese like dishes, main dishes that are the basis of Sudanese cuisine?
I think okay, I'll tell you my favorite. So I have this mula khudra. It's like this I want to say like a sauce, and then you eat it with kisra, and it's like this almost like a crepe, but it's salty. And then you kind of break it off and you eat it with the sauce. Like, that used to be my favorite. So I always tell my mom to cook it for me.
And what is the sauce made of?
It's like a green sauce. Like, it's like, I think it's made out of, there's like okra and other type of greens and stuff. Yeah, it's like a green sauce.
Okay, and how did your family manage to get those sort of ingredients in Finland? Because they're hard to come by, right?
Yes,
now, it's much easier. But about 15 years ago, 20 years ago,
we were very lucky because like each town would probably have like one African store with like ethnic foods, and we would have like, now there's like way more of them, but we used to have like one, or we would have to go like drive 2 hours to go to Helsinki, and because they had more stores back there. So we would drive there and like make trips and kind of stock up, and then we were able to cook all the foods.
Okay. And so I want to ask you now, do you remember the cliche question, how did you get into basketball?
I want to say my brothers. My brothers, they taught me about every sport. They played all the kinds of sport, and I feel like I was the first daughter after 4 guys. So I kind of was still acting like a guy with them. I wanted to go out with them. I wanted to play every sport with them. So I think just through them, they were able to, they always took me with them to play basketball, soccer, whatever. We would do ice hockey too, because we were in Finland. Like every sport we would try.
And did they take it easy on you because you were like because you were the youngest, right? So did they
Yeah,
take it easy on you when you were participating in like sporting competitions?
I think when I was younger, like super, super young, a little bit. But when I got older and older, like no, like it got more competitive and more and more competitive.
And right now, who's the best at basketball?
Right now, I'm gonna say me for sure,
Yeah.
100%. I think with the skills that I have compared to them, I feel like I can beat all of them.
Okay. And do you remember your first dunk as well?
Yes, I do. I remember I was just having a shoot around with one of my old teammates, and I think we saw like a video where I think it was Lisa Leslie. I saw the video of her dunking, and I was like with my friend, just like, oh, you should try that. She was telling me you should try that. I'm like, yeah, I should try that. And I failed a couple times, but then I got it, and we were like super hyped about it.
Yeah, and I mean you were I think one of the 8 players in WNBA history, something like that, who
Yeah.
managed to dunk during the game, which is like awesome. That's a nice company. I mean, being mentioned in like with Lisa
Yeah.
Leslie, yeah, it's always
Yes.
nice, right?
Exactly.
Whatever the
Yeah.
category. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were usually the youngest or one of the youngest players on your pro teams.
Yeah.
And did you have mentors or a mentor, or did you manage to grow on your own?
I think a little bit of both. I think there's some things that you have to go through your own to learn from them, but I think I was very, very lucky during my career where I had so many good teammates that I'm still friends with today, and they were usually always older than me, so they would obviously out of protection like just give me advice and tell me what to do, and like when I'm feeling like okay, I feel like I don't understand what's going on in the team, I don't know the system, like it's not going well, they would tell me like it's okay, like you just have to be patient. They will give me good advice. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay. And in 2019, you were the most improved player of the Finnish league, right? So what happened between the years 2018 and 2019 that propelled you to reach these new heights? Was it just increased playing time, or was there something more?
I think the national team summer, I think I was able to work out a lot during that summer, and I was kind of breaking like boundaries of like how I was playing. I think I was so used to playing one certain way, and I went more into playing like almost like a guard, like shooting from outside, driving more. And I think that was kind of the breaking point that summer that I felt comfortable trying those things, maybe failing and then trying again. And I think that's why I was able to get better during that time.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. That's actually my next question, because you always, I mean, always, since you were like, since your name was out there, you played as a 4 or a 5. So rebounding, blocking, layups, this is basically your bread and butter, right? But why did you learn how to dribble? Why was it so important for you to learn how to dribble? Because I think one of the most underrated of your abilities, or maybe something that makes you special, is the way you can dribble and just quickly move to the basket, like 3 steps and you're underneath the basket once you cross
Yeah.
the half court line. So I wanted to ask you why did you think that it was essential to learn how to dribble?
I think it was the ability to create for myself. I think I was so used to everyone else like creating for me or creating for me through ball screens and rolling. It was just more like, and I was very used to like moving off the ball, like that was my thing. But I think when I went into more tougher leagues, I saw that I really needed to learn how to create for myself too. So I think that's when the dribbling came in. It's like almost like I didn't have an option. I just like either you survive and like get better or you just don't. So yeah.
Okay. And the year 2019 was probably the most crucial year in your career so far, at least, right? Because not only you
Yeah.
get the award for the most improved player, but you were also drafted. And what do you remember from draft day?
I remember that I was very lucky because I was able to have such good teammates that all showed up to my draft night because it was during COVID time. So you're not really supposed to have that many people in one room. And my parents and my family was not able to come there because of COVID, and it was in Italy. So I was very, very lucky to have like teammates that care about me. They set up the whole thing, my agents, and it was just like so beautiful, and it was like a core memory for me. So I think that was the best. Obviously the draft, getting drafted was the best part too, but like just having my teammates almost feel like family to me, and that support was really nice.
Okay. And where are you still kind of disappointed that you didn't go number one?
Not really. I think being number two as a European is already like a big achievement. And I think when it becomes like one or two, I feel like there's not too big of a difference for me. It was just important that I got drafted. I didn't even think I would get drafted as second pick. Like I thought I would go way later because I was European and like didn't go to college. So I didn't think I would have like that much people looking at me. So I was just happy, even if I came second or third or 10th, like I was just very honored.
Yeah, because I remember reading an interview, and you said that you were kind of disappointed that you weren't the first overall back then. So I assume that you were actually not being too serious, right? So it was being just kind of saying
Honestly,
stuff.
I don't remember saying that, but
Maybe it was in the heat of the moment, something like that.
maybe, but no, I am very, very close with the number one pick. Like I think she's great. So to me, I think I'm very humble in
Yeah.
being number two, and I think it's still a great, great achievement.
And what, yeah, awesome. And what were your first days in Dallas like? Because moving from Finland, you're not only moving to America, you're moving to Texas, right?
Yeah,
Dallas. So
yeah,
it must have been really intimidating at first. So how did you
yeah.
manage to find your footing there?
At first, it was way different. I think the a little bit of like a culture shock. It was way different from what I'm used to, and then also playing in Italy, then going from Italian culture to American culture was way different. But I was very lucky because my one of my American teammates that I played with my first year actually played in Dallas, so we became very close. And she was there when I came, so she literally helped me like through my whole first and second year. So I think I was very lucky. I was able to adjust so well because of her, and I think I owe her a huge, huge thank you.
Okay. And how hard was it? Maybe before I get to that question about this season, I want to ask you how much, maybe, how did you handle the pressure of being such a high pick and such a young age? Because I mean, you were 19, if I remember correctly. So it was
Yeah.
really, it must have been really like tough on you. So how did you manage to just uh, I don't know, handle the pressure of being such a high pick at such a young age, especially?
I think for me, it was just more like I was at a point where I just really enjoyed basketball, and it was very fun for me. Coming out of Italy, like I felt like I was finally able to play against great players and like get better. So I think it was more of like I was able to manage it because I was enjoying playing basketball, and my teammates in Dallas were great. So I kind of didn't feel that pressure while being there. It was just more like this is something new, and you just enjoy it and you learn from it.
Okay. And so the question that I originally wanted to ask now, how hard was it for you to decide to forego this WNBA season? And okay, yeah, before I get to the next part, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. It was hard because I feel like when I was with Dallas, like we kept getting better every year. That was something that was so great for us because we started on one point and we kept getting better and better. And I started getting very close with the teammates and stuff. Like it was tough, I think, knowing that, okay, what I could have done this year, maybe I would have gotten even more minutes, maybe I would have gotten more opportunities. So it did feel hard to kind of just leave that behind for last year, but I think it was also something that I needed to do mentally, physically. It was just like, I think I was at a point where I felt like, okay, like I've played for 3 years in a row, like keep playing. Like it was the moment to just kind of take a break and not take a break from basketball because I did work out the whole summer. It was just more like to take a break from competing and just being able to play basketball, like get better and still be with my family, my friends, and enjoy life also.
Yeah, and that's understandable, right? And at this particular moment, do you think that you will be back next year? Meaning, I'm not like asking you to declare, because there's like, I mean, who am I to ask you to do anything? But do you think that you're gonna play in the WNBA next season? Do you feel the hunger already, that you like feel that, yeah, next season I'm gonna be back and I'm gonna show all of them how I've
Yeah,
improved?
I actually haven't made a decision yet. I think I'm still talking with my agents and stuff, but I do feel like this fire inside of me of like, okay, I feel like I had a good season overseas and like I really feel confident enough to go there and actually make an impact. So I do have that fire in me and I feel like I'm like just like so competitive in a way. I was like, okay, I want to go there and like show them that I got better during this year. But also I feel like I have to just be smart about it, think about myself, like check in with myself and my mental, also my physical part, because I have had some minor injuries, but like I just have to make sure that I'm 100% ready to go there.
Yeah, because the toll it takes on the body, right? It
Yeah,
must be really, really hard. I mean, for me, it's
yeah,
unimaginable. Like, and mentally, you finish one season and you immediately begin the next one.
exactly.
It's like I mean, when can you like catch a break?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so let's talk about Venice for a moment. You're home since 2022. Uh, I think that the season that you've had was incredible. I mean, you are building something special as a team there in Venice. You guys won the championship last season. So what are the expectations for this season?
Obviously the same. I think we started the season off well because we won the Super Cup against Skio, which is a EuroLeague team that's been in EuroLeague for a lot of years. So I think we started in a good way. I think we have a lot more to work on, but I've been with these girls for so long. Like we're very hardworking, and I think we have a lot of talent that if we're able to kind of like use our talent and put it in the court, I feel like we're going to do a lot of great things. So I think for us right now, it's honestly the goal to win everything. Like I think everyone in my team is very competitive and we want to win everything. We want to make it very as far as we can in EuroLeague. That's also like a big goal for everyone. So I think those are our biggest goals right now.
Okay, so is Venice like a long-term project? You think it's a long-term project as opposed to these uh, teams which like change their rosters annually, and you don't really know uh, how the roster is going to look after this season? So is Venice, you feel like a long-term project, so a team that can dominate for years to come in Europe?
Yeah, I do think so. I think Venice, they're really good at finding the talent and then developing the talent. So I do see Venice being like a big club for the future years.
Okay, and one of the talents that you mentioned is Matilde Villa, the point guard who was drafted recently. So she is probably at the stage that you were, in a way. Obviously, she wasn't as high of a pick, but she is a hot prospect, like you were a couple of years ago. And do you feel the need to give her some life lessons? And is she, well, I don't want to cause any commotion maybe, but is she willing to listen? Is she that sort of player who likes to listen, ask questions, get advice, etc.?
Oh, 100%. Like, I feel like the one great thing about Mati is the fact that she's a great player, has great talents, but she's such a good person. Like, such a nice girl, a funny girl. Like, it's just a player that you want in your team, like always. Like, she will always listen to you. She will ask questions. She will take every criticism in a good way. So yeah, I feel like I always kind of have this protective thing on her because she's just so nice, like a more like a more quiet of a player, but she has so much talent and she's just always happy. So I feel like I always loved working with her and loved helping her.
Okay. And the last question I have for you is, this season, did you add anything over the summer to your repertoire of like plays? Because there seems like there's nothing you can't do on the basketball court anyway, but did you work on something especially that we as basketball fans might be, it might be something for us to look forward to seeing you do?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I worked on this summer was just to be more physical, like for my body. I think I've always kind of been more lengthy and like skinnier than most other players. So that was something that I really put a lot of effort in this summer, was to just come out more physical, you know, more stronger, being able to really fight against the bigger players. But also I feel like my shooting is something that I worked on a lot, and also like back to the basket more. I feel like during these years I kind of went away from the basket, and then I feel like now is the time to come back because I feel like I have to utilize the fact that I'm very tall too.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Awak, for
Thank you.
our conversation. Thank you for finding the time. And I wish you and your team all the best in this season.
Thank
And
you so much.
hopefully, we're going to see you in the WNBA next
Yes.
year as well. We will see.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.